Hey there, Rebels fans, it's been a while. It's Andi Gutierrez here from Lucasfilm headquarters, and yeah, we have a lot to talk about this week. Didn't expect our return to hit you that hard, did you? Don't worry, we'll get through this together, and we'll learn a little more about what went into making these jaw-dropping episodes. So grab a box of tissues, because you're probably gonna need them. Rebels Recon starts right now. On a mission to rescue Hera from the Empire, the Ghost crew receives a devastating blow, and Kanan bravely sacrifices himself to save the others. However, the mission was still successful at destroying the Empire's fuel supply, halting Thrawn's TIE Defender project, and putting Governor Price on Thrawn's bad side.
Grand Admiral,
I will deal with you when I return.
After some words with the loth-wolves, Ezra is directed toward a new mission to seek the knowledge he requires.
Jedi Temple.
This week, we saw Kanan make the ultimate sacrifice to save his friends. I sat down with cast and crew to talk about the significance of this character coming to terms with his fate and how the loss of Kanan affected them and the Ghost crew. In a very dramatic scene, Kanan cuts his hair and shaves his beard. What does this moment symbolize for him?
It's a commitment to the moment. It's also ceremonially him understanding that this is a transitional moment, that he is not going to be the same. So it's almost a purification.
I think it was meant to sort of evoke what he looked like when he first met Hera. I think it was meant to sort of also evoke the feeling of a samurai going into battle and just stripping themselves of everything.
He is aware of what's going to possibly happen. He is aware of the possibility of his death. And in a way, he has to understand that might be his role, not to die, but to be selfless, to do things for other people, even at the expense of yourself.
Kanan is the first loss we've had in the original Ghost crew. How do you feel as a creator to kill off such an important character?
I'll be honest, it was really difficult. I have such a love for Kanan and the energy he brought to the show, and ultimately the discussion was around what the journey of the character is, not necessarily selfishly what I want to have happen. And so that makes it really difficult when you're in that position of needing to do what's best for the story versus what you personally want. It's the moment where you understand that the sacrifice of a character has a significant impact on the journey for all of the characters moving forward.
Freddie, from the very beginning, had been talking to me about the need for his character to go. And I think a lot of people over the years, fans, I've heard them kind of just throw out there, well, he has to die. A lot of them think of it more in terms of, well, because Yoda says there are no other Jedi. But that's not why. He has to die as an example of how to be selfless, of how to become enlightened.
it hit really hard with our actors. Filoni was very secretive about this plot point. When we went down to record this episode, none of the actors were aware this was going to happen. He removed the last 2 pages of the script. It came to the end of the record and Filoni took them aside. He opened up his notebook where he had the story panels for that last moment and he walked them through it and they were devastated.
Kanan makes his heroic last stand.
Yep.
How do you think this affects Zeb?
Well, the same way it affects me. I've become so close to Freddie as Zeb has with Kanan. There's a brotherhood between them, and I think it's a horrible loss for him. And yet, I think Zeb's primary instinct is honor more than anything else. And I think the way that Kanan went out in such a heroic fashion, Zeb was probably proud of his brother going out that way, and I think that's what he'll carry with him.
I think Hera, as calm and cool and collected as she is in general, this is one moment I think where you see her truly broken, shattered, and incapable of computing what's the next move and how to face it alone. I think she knew how much he meant to her, but the fact that she will never see him again, she's just catatonic, and I don't think we've seen Hera like that ever.
Once it became a reality, it really washed over all of us as people as well. Oh, Freddie's kind of gone. We've been a close-knit group for a while now, so I think that just enhanced the acting and really helped everything. But yeah, it really affects Ezra. That's kind of everything to him. That's who he's been closest to, who he trusts more than himself, I'd say. Also, the way that Kanan did it was a huge learning experience for him.
In the last moments of Kanan's life, he seems to regain his sight. What do you feel happened in that final moment?
Clarity. It wasn't that we're actually seeing each other, it's just that everything connected. For how I perceive that moment is that everything's okay.
When I was doing this scene, when I was staging it, and I was lining up these shots and I was drawing them, and when I drew it, I could just see his eyes, and I was like, that's a moment where he could see her. And I thought in this moment, because he's in this point where he's just kind of energy, where he's about to die, when he's more one with everything he's ever been, he would have this clarity where things like physical sight just doesn't matter. And so I think it just really plays at that moment, that emotion. And though it's sad, and I do, if people wonder, feel bad, you just have to trust me. There's no other way to look at it. You just have to trust me.
Losing Kanan was a huge blow to the Rebels. In what way does each member of the Ghost crew deal with the loss of their friend?
We show a lot of that on screen. We realize that the audience is going to need time to mourn Kanan, just like our crew does.
There's lots of shades of mourning, and it'll be interesting to see what the audience connects to and who they recognize. My favorite, honestly, has got to be Chopper's reaction. You realize that Chopper, for all the pain that he causes, does have a heart.
Zeb and Sabine kind of deal with it in more of an anger sense. They want to take action and they want to lash out. Hera, I think, feels completely lost because in the back of her mind, she's always had this balance point of Kanan there, and now he's gone. And she feels responsible because of what she got him roped into with this Rebel Alliance. She's dealing with the guilt of it. And for Ezra, he succumbs again to his fear. He starts to think that his powers and his ability to be brave were somehow wrapped up in Kanan. He's being almost self-pitying. He's making it all about himself, and woe is me.
I think it's really important that they're reflecting upon the loss of Kanan in terms of what it is they're fighting for. I think it helps them align their own values, and I think in the face of such tremendous loss, really evaluate what it is they're looking to accomplish and resolve themselves to really understand that what they're doing has meaning, and in order for Kanan's sacrifice to not be in vain, they have to not only recommit to this cause, but they have to see it through to the end.
Jedi have the ability to turn the tide, to make a significant moment, to give hope where there's none. That's their ultimate role, to be this example of selflessness. And that's what makes them a hero when no one else can match that heroic thing. And then our job is to emulate that, to use that example and further our own lives.
Hey, buddy. You okay? Yeah, we're all pretty sad about it. You don't have to put up that tough exterior. I know you have a heart in there. I saw that scene with Hera. Come on. You'll be okay. It's okay. Pablo's had a few months of freedom from my constant lurking and bombardment with my trusty microphone and camera crew. But that ends today, Hidalgo. You can't hide forever. Let's go find him. Hey, Pablo.
Hey, Andy.
So I have a Rebels question for you.
Wow, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay,
Here we go. Itis Varnus asks, in Rebel Assault, when Hera fires upon Scarus' TIE Defender, her S-foils are still locked instead of attack position. Are X-Wings still capable of firing with locked S-foils?
Yeah, you can't actually fire with your wings shut down. Opening it up into attack position basically gives you a greater spread of fire, so it's more effective, but you can do both.
All right, fair enough. Thanks, Pablo.
All right.
They'll never notice. Have questions about Jedi Night or DUME or anything else about Star Wars Rebels you want answered? Tweet it to @StarWars using the hashtag Rebels Recon and we'll answer what we can online. And now, as a gift for sticking around this long, I give you an exclusive clip from next week's episodes, Wolves in a Door and A World Between Worlds. Enjoy.
We're ready. Can you take us?
Thanks for watching Rebels Recon. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. But in the meantime, check out the episode guides for Jedi Night and DUME on StarWars.com right now. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Man, Dave better not kill off any more of these characters. I don't know how much more I can take.